Hello, everybody, and welcome to yet another episode of the Small Business Spotlight. My name is Donna Smith Bellinger, and I am your sales manager on demand. This week, I'm heading over to the East Coast, and I'm going to be talking about someone that you should definitely meet. Dee Bowden of BCS Solutions is on the East Coast in Maryland, and she does something that you are aspiring to need. Really, Donna? What am I aspiring to need? Well, what Dee does is help you collect your money. It's a fabulous thing. There are some of us who have business models where we wouldn't dream of doing anything unless it was paid all up front, that kind of a thing. But there will come a certain time when you're going to have a different type of fiduciary arrangement, and you are going to have a different type of contract. And sometimes if you're doing business with government entities or other large corporations, it can get a little bit sticky. And I know that a lot of you know of people who have started businesses and then they land that really big contract. So what do you have to do? You got to run out, you got to buy stuff, and you got to pay people. And they say they're going to pay you within 30 days, 45 days, 60 days. And then it turns into 6 months, and then it turns into 9 months. And it's one excuse after another. Most of you know that I co-founded an IT firm years ago, and so I have been through that, and I know what it looks like. It's something you don't want to deal with on your own. Dee has extensive experience in dealing with contract administration and collections. I'm going to let her introduce herself to you and tell you why she loves what she does, and maybe show you some of the reason that I have discovered she's someone I truly want to do business with. Welcome, Dee.
Good afternoon, Miss Donna. Thank you so very much. As I like to say, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're listening to this fabulous conversation on the world. I am Dee Bowden. I'm the founder and CEO of BCS Solutions. Most people ask me, why do you do collections? Why would you pick, of all the things in the world you'd pick, why would you pick that one? Well, here's the thing. I didn't pick it. It picked me. But before we get into that, here's some fun facts about me. Number one, I'm from Boston originally. Number two, I love Ferris wheels. Number three, I love smooth jazz. And number four, I love hot air balloon rides. Fun facts. Fun facts.
Love, love, love it, honey. And you know what? Other than the collecting money thing, we're here. Smooth jazz all day long.
Yes.
All day long.
Who are your favorite artists?
Oh, don't get me started. We're all about you right now. We are all about
Okay.
you. And then the Ferris wheels, yes.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
hot air balloons, yeah, I almost got there, and then we kind of but it's
yeah.
on my bucket list. It is
Well,
on my bucket list.
let me tell you about the hot air balloon ride. So when I turned 40, that's actually how I celebrated my birthday. And it really started with when I was in my 20s. I literally watched a soap opera. And for those people who be like, what's a soap opera? It's kind of like watching the Real Housewives of whatever now. But back in the day, they had something called soap operas. So they still do. So this couple came out, they got married, and before they went on their honeymoon, they actually took a hot air balloon ride. And I was like, ooh, that's really cool. So when I turn 40, that's what I'm doing. So I literally got to blow up my balloon, get in it, set the fire, go up 5,250 feet over a 5-mile radius. And I'm from Boston, so the two tallest buildings are the John Hancock and the Prudential Center. And as clear as I'm looking at you right now, I could see them. It was one of the most majestic things I have ever done in life, ever.
I love that. I love that. Now, you told me you're a dualpreneur. You're still working a day job,
I
and a
still
lot
work
of
at.
us get that. And
Yep,
then you're building your business alongside that,
yep,
and you're serving small to medium companies in the
right.
IT software telecom industry.
Mm-hmm.
And these are, for those of you who aren't there yet or you're thinking about it, it doesn't take a huge team to make a great deal of money in those spaces. And depending upon how you delegate, how you outsource, you may not have an extensive back office.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where Dee would come in. So talk about that.
Sure thing. And you're right. So part of why BCS Solutions exists is to be that arm that you don't have when it comes to collecting money. Because here's the thing. If you're in the IT, telecom, software industries, you're all about sales. You're about sales and producing the next product. So you are selling, you're doing these phenomenal presentations. You want everybody to go, yes, pick me. And then once they pick you, you're like, oh crap, or some other choice words. I don't know how to collect my money, but I know how to sell, and I know how to fix your widgets. I know how to make your systems work, but I don't want to have to ask you for money. That's that. But I would rather go get a root canal than have to ask you as my customer to pay me. And because here's the thing, on the front end, you've done really great. You've sold. But I always say this, the sale is not complete until the money is actually in the bank. Let me say it again. The sale is not complete until the money's in the bank. So unfortunately, what happens is, or maybe I should say it this way, what happened to me was I worked for a small
What
IT
had happened
firm.
was,
This is literally one of those, what had happened was, I worked for a small IT firm outside of Boston where I'm from. They had $8 million worth of sales on the books, not in the bank. I got hired by the collections team to come in and collect this money. Welcome to the team. Here's your cubicle. Here's your accounts receivable report. You need to get to work. I was like, are y'all kidding? I thought it was a joke. And they're like, no. This is really outstanding. This AR aging is current as of this date. We need you to get to work. So I said a short prayer, kind of went like this. Hey, God. Yes, D. How are you? I'm good, God. You? I'm great. I don't know how to collect $8 million, and I need a clue real quick because I need these people to know that I'm worth my salt because they hired me. So short prayer. I go to work. I've discovered 3 things about collections, especially business to business and business to government. Collections is problem solving, number 1, is an extension of customer service, number 2, and my secret sauce is gratitude. So I figured out, number 1, if you have an $8 million problem, a $5,000 problem, or a $5 problem, it doesn't matter. If you provide a product or service you haven't gotten paid, that's a problem. So why haven't you been paid? Usually it's something happened with the invoice, something happened with the order, somebody fat fingered something in the system and the information got entered wrong. But because you're so fast on moving along, you don't go back and do what I call quality control and make sure information is correct. So I found out that the $8 million had been outstanding because several things had happened. Number 1, one of the clients, the customers said, we changed our billing systems and we told you all you need to reformat your invoices and resubmit them. When you do that, you get paid. So upwards of $2 million sat uncollected because nobody bothered to find out why. So that's how I figured out that the collections is problem solving, number 1. Number 2 is customer service. Anybody who's listening to me today who sells a product or a service, you are always responsible for the experience your customer has. Who answers the phone, how the order is taken, what happens if something's not right, if they order 10 sneakers, 1 sneaker, don't care. If they ordered 10 sneakers and you only gave them 8, why should they pay you for 10 sneakers when you owe them 2? You need to fix that. If you don't fix that, the world we live in today, it takes 30 seconds or less for somebody to go live and go, hi, I'm on IG or I'm on Facebook or I'm on TikTok or whatever it is today. I had this horrible experience. And the reputation that you've taken so long to build gets destroyed like that.
and how much money people spend to create the brand and the marketing and everything else to build that up. It takes one bad receptionist. It takes one tacky salesperson. Yeah, like I told you, I've been in IT. Oh boy. Right. I would really get angry as a salesperson in IT if I spent weeks, months, whatever, building up, closing a client, then we send Larry, Moe, and Curly out there to deliver the service.
Not Larry, Moe, and Curly.
Oh, Larry, no. Moe, and Curly, and Shemp. We send all 4 of them. And they tank the project.
Right.
And so I either don't get paid or I don't get paid what I'm supposed to get paid.
Or you lose your commission.
Exactly. But they still got paid. And that's where I used to tap dance. Wait a minute. Right. They got paid for doing a bad job. I get nothing. We got an issue.
Exactly. And
we got an issue.
Because I truly believe that sales and collections go together. I don't believe my saying of the sale is not complete until the money's in the bank is because yes, you sell on the front end, but until I collect for what you sold, no, you don't get your commission. We need to get the money in-house first, then you can get your commission. That part. But unfortunately, so back to the story. So $8 million worth of sales, short prayer. I get my list of accounts. I collect $6 million in 60 days while working part-time. Now, people go, oh my gosh, that's phenomenal. And it's true. But what created BCS Solutions and why I do what I do now is the CEO of the company says, listen, everybody come downstairs. Now I'm sitting there thinking as a part-time person, I've collected this money. We're about to get a bonus. It's 2 months before Christmas. I'm thinking, yes, no, that's not what happened. We come downstairs and he says, listen, thank you so much for everything you've done. So that's across sales, contracts, order entry, invoicing, and collections, AR, my lane. We want to thank you for what you've done, but we've made an executive decision. We're closing the company. You've got 30 minutes to go get your stuff out your cubicle and leave. And this is 2 months before Christmas. So after I pick myself up off the floor, I'm like, are you kidding me? This is really happening? Yeah, this is really happening. The company is out of business. Y'all get your stuff and you're gone. And even though that happened to me many, many years ago, it's what changed me because I realized that 100 people went to work supporting somebody else's dream, got shot in the foot, and got told, we're out. Now, I was a part-time employee. I was a worker bee. I get that part. I will never know what happened at the corporate level, but what I do know is that from the collection standpoint where I sit, how you let that many sales come in and you don't follow up to make sure the money gets collected, that's what drives me to talk constantly about the sale is not complete until the money's in the bank. Why it's so important to track your accounts to know what's going on. The first time the invoice is 30 days late, if it's in the current bucket and it slides 30 days, even before it gets to the 30th day, you as the CEO or the person who supports you needs to be on the phone to follow up and find out how come. Why haven't you paid us? What is the issue? Is there a problem that you haven't talked to us about? What mistake was made? And I personally believe this. I personally believe when you get the information, tell them thank you. That's what makes me different, is because they don't have to tell you. But if you go and you initiate the call and ask them and you want to solve it, that's part of customer service. That's part of customer relationships. You tell them, thank you for telling me what's wrong, and I get a chance to course correct it and ensure that we won't keep repeating this mistake, because I don't want to be here again. I don't want to keep losing money. That's how I do business. That's how I do collections, which is very different from anybody on the planet, because nobody comes back and says thank you. I can't tell you, Ms. Donna, the number of people who have come back and said, no one ever comes back and says thank you. Well, I do. You see above my sign, it says a cup of gratitude. Gratitude is what changes everything, because most people don't even realize that, number one, the fact that you have customers, you have clients, you ought to be grateful. Right now, it's December 2020. What are most corporations doing? They're sending out gift cards, notes. Thank you for your service. Appreciate you being a customer. Want you to renew your services for 2021 and beyond. What is that? It's gratitude. It's customer service. They want to make sure that you've had a great experience and you will keep coming back and you keep telling your friends and so on and so on and so on.
That's what the good companies are doing. That's what the good companies are doing. I'm just going to say that, but I have to agree with you 150%. I have told my clients frequently that work is what you do to finance who you wish to become. Mm-hmm. But you did not take on these additional responsibilities to ruin your health, making somebody else's dreams come true. That's why I was like, when you said that, because that's not what it's for. And mm-hmm. then, as I said when we were chatting before, you don't want this to be a job that you own, right, where you are forever and ever and ever having to do. The sign of a true business leader is the ability to delegate, the ability to build a team. And BCS Solutions represents an aspect of your team that is probably overlooked right now. If you have anybody who owes you money. So for those of you who are starting your tech businesses, and my innovators and all of you other wonderful, talented individuals, you know that you're brilliant at what you do, but there are certain things that you don't. I help you with the sales part. Dee and her firm can help you with the collections part, the other part, and I'm sure that there are other services she could offer to you as well and other insights. Know that you'll be hearing more from her and me in the future. Dee, I want to thank you so much for giving me this wonderfully animated, energetic business spotlight conversation. You're just delightful. I look forward to having you back.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, great. And to all of you, thank you so much for tuning in for this week's Small Business Spotlight. I'm Donna Smith Bellinger, your sales manager on demand, and I'll see you in the next episode.